We're going to look at day 2, backside of the yellow worksheet that's due for today. So you should have that out. Sailor should get that out. Jane, girls, let's get it out. India, you should get yours out. Jesse, do you need another one? You should be able to get it done now. And the answers are online. You can, it's on Schoology. It's Notability that does not work. Okay, India? Oh, that's fine. A bad idea. Well, let's maybe review a little bit. You should have your yellow sheet. Do you have your yellow sheet, girls? Let's look at the first 4 questions. Maybe we should just go over the whole thing. It was easy, and you guys finished early, but you didn't follow the directions. Page 2, no, you didn't, because I looked at them. And it says, don't forget your labels. So you need to draw that in and label it. So it takes a little longer than what some of you did, almost all of you. Okay, 1 through 4, the vertex is going to be A, B, C, or D. What is the vertex on a parabola? Okay, the vertex is the lowest point on the parabola. Okay, Matt? So that is, or it could be the highest. Your parabola could be upside down. I don't like small letters. 2, the axis of symmetry is D, the line that runs through the middle of the parabola and actually goes through the vertex. So that's the axis of symmetry. So on my picture is pretty bad, but that's okay. The y-intercept is where the curve crosses the y-axis. So that's right here. That's the y-intercept. Okay, so where is that? That's A, where the graph crosses the y-axis. And you should have these right now since I'm doing them. And D, x-intercepts are where the graph crosses the x-axis. So that's an x-intercept. Okay, so that is C. Okay, fill in all the missing information here. And my x-intercepts, you should have them in ordered pair form. So what are the x-intercepts? So 1, 0, and the other one is at 3, 0. So if you don't have the zeros there, it's wrong. Okay, so you need those zeros there. Okay, Jesse? Did I get you a worksheet? Jesse? Did I remember to give you a worksheet? Okay, so we're doing this. Where's the y-intercept? It's not at 5, but it's up here at, looks like it's 6. And that's an ordered pair too. Where's the vertex? But be careful, it's xy, so it's 2 comma negative 2. Be careful with the order, it's x first and then y. And the axis of symmetry is not drawn here, but it's this line, and it's x equal to what? 2. But we're going to reverse the whole process on the backside. We're going to label everything. How about that one? Where are our x-intercepts? Negative 1, 0, and 5, 0. So if you have it reversed, it's wrong. So fix it. Because I want you to be able to go back, look at your homework when you're studying for a test. And the first part, about the matching is going to be the communication piece of this assessment. Now, what's the y-intercept? Looks like it's right here. So it's 0. Looks like it's negative 5. Is that right, you guys? And the vertex point is the yellow one. So the x is 2. Oh, that's a negative 8, so it's negative 9. And the equation for the axis of symmetry is right here. X equals 2. Okay, so what do you have to do on the back? You have to label things. Okay, we're ready to go to the back? Okay, so I'm going to draw in the axis of symmetry, which is at x equals negative 2. So I'm going to go to negative 2, and I'm going to draw that. I thought I had the other one, but that's okay. There's my axis of symmetry. So you need to have that there. You should label it. I can do mine in color. Okay, so I'm going to label that x equals -2. This is what's missing on your graphs. Yes, it says don't forget your labels. Okay, x-intercepts are -5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Either you say x-intercept or you say -5, 0. I'm going to do -5, 0. I don't know how the answer key was written, but it should be labeled. There were no labels? Well, we should put labels in there. Then that's 1, 0. If it says to label, we should do it. Then the vertex is -2, -9. And I believe these are 10 by 10 grids. So it's right here. So it's -2, -9. And the y-intercept is 0, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, -5. And some people only did a little bit. Maybe they did that, and they didn't do the other side, but you need to do the other side. Okay, so you need a full parabola. So I will leave that to you so that you can do the other two problems. It's just a matter of labeling things. You at least should have the axis of symmetry drawn in there. Okay, so we're going to go on today, learn a little more vocabulary, and find how we can get the x-intercepts. So do you want to, let me give you time to finish that first, or can we go on? Yeah, we'll always turn it in. Well, I'd like to get the lesson done, but it's just right there. And it should be on Schoology, but your Notability is not working. So that's why I gave you hard copies. Okay, so Jens and Joey, let's finish that in a second. Let's do this. I know, but let's get this going so that everybody can, because some people did things right or are done. I want to be able to identify the three forms of a quadratic equation, find the x-intercepts from the given quadratic equation. Now, if I draw a parabola here, sorry, one thing. And I draw any old parabola. You know what? I don't like that thought. Let's move it over a little. There we go. Now, this is the x-intercept, right? And that's the x-intercept. There's two of them. Will there ever be more than two? No, the parabola always looks like this. Okay, Jesse? What's true about the coordinates? Something special about the coordinates of the x-intercept. It says a comma what? What's the y-coordinate? 0. And you can call, let's call that A1, let's call it X1. What's true about the y-coordinate for every ordered pair on the x-axis? It's 0. So I don't know what the number is, I just know that the y-coordinate is 0. Because I have two different x-intercepts, I have to name them something different. I could have called it A and B. Could call it anything I want. And usually we call them X1. But when I see the x's, I think of a variable, so I think it's easier if I call it A. But in the notes, it's X1 and X2. Okay? So we have these forms, and we're going to be able to find x-intercepts if we're given a certain form. The first form is the general form, and when we finish today, I will summarize this. But what this is going to give us is if I have a parabola, what's true about the x-coordinate for the y-intercept? Jay? Well, the y is 1, but what's x? 0. So if I put 0 into this equation, if I want to call this f of x, remember that, because it is a function. The a, b, and c, those are just numbers, but if I do f of 0, what is a times 0 squared? 0. What's b times 0? 0 plus c. No, plus c. So guess what? This number is the y-intercept. When you look at the worksheet that's going to be due for tomorrow, you have questions that ask you which form will work. Okay, so general form. Now the other thing I can do with this is I can learn the quadratic formula. You might have heard about that from some upper class students. Everybody, even your parents, might know what the quadratic formula is. They may not be able to tell you exactly what it is, but they will remember having done the quadratic formula. It always gives you the x-intercept, but we aren't doing that yet. But if I put in x equal to 0, I get the y-intercept. So that's what C does for me. Then I have this other form, and it's called vertex form. My board's off a little. Let me try it with my computer. I'm going to draw a picture, and I know this is something new for you. Here's my parabola. And yesterday I kind of did this. The vertex is the lowest or the highest point on the graph. We're going to name the x-coordinate h and the y-coordinate k. So when my formula for my quadratic equation is in this kind of form, x minus h is just a number, k is just a number, then I have the vertex. And now we're not doing that today, but from the equation, I can find the vertex. So that's what this is good for, finding the vertex. And it's hard to get from the general form to vertex form. There's an easier way to find the vertex. But that, if you're given it in this form, you can do that. I'm answering questions off your worksheet. And the last form, the one we're going to do today, is factored form. And these are the x-intercepts. And we're going to talk about why they are. So this gives us the x-intercepts. And to do that, we're going to use this thing called zero product property. I like this lesson because I could just do zero product property, but this actually applies it. So what is this zero product property? Now, normally you're going to have to factor your quadratic equation, which is why we did all that factoring stuff, because you have to be able to do it. However, today we're going to give the problems to you in factored form. We're going to ignore this for a moment, and we're going to look at what the zero product property says. And it's a product. What does product mean? Multiply. Okay, so if you have a multiplication problem, we're doing this right now because this is new. For most of you, this is going to be new. And the product is 0. Now, I want to solve for x. What does solve mean? You remember that? It's been a while. Solve means to find the number, or numbers, because there may be more than one, that make the sentence true. Okay, Nick? That make the sentence true. And this is so easy, it's too easy. I know, but it's too easy. If I have two numbers and you multiply them and I get 0, like 5 times, what number gives me 0? Yeah. I don't know if that worked. No, it didn't. Okay, x is 0. What about negative 2? Negative 2 times what number gives me 0? 0. So zero product property says if you multiply any two numbers and the answer is 0, then one of them has to be 0. That's all it says. So if I see the product, like x times y is 0, then either x is 0 or y is 0. Unless they're the same number, but they're the same number, I'm probably not going to call them x and y. So generally speaking, it's one or the other. So if you have a product of two things, a times b, then either a is 0 or b is 0. Or maybe they're both 0, if they're the identical thing, which is kind of silly. Now, does that make sense? If I multiply any two numbers, I get 0, then one of them has to be 0. Always. That's 3 times 0. Yeah, that's 80 times 0. What's a million times 0? Now for the trick question. What's infinity times 0? I don't know. I don't know. Because infinity, we never get there. 0 times any number is 0. Infinity is not a number, it's a concept. So it's called indeterminate. No, that's a calculus thing. And sometimes 0 wins, sometimes infinity wins. It just depends who's stronger. No, infinity is not a number. It's just a concept. You can always add 1 to whatever number you can think of and get a bigger number. There is no limit to how big numbers can be or how small numbers can be. Okay, so when we look at the x-intercepts, and we have y equal to some function of x, if I can write it in factored form, the y values are always 0. So what I'm going to do is put in 0 for y, because that's what I want to find. I want to find the x values where the y coordinate is 0. So how do we do the problems? Here's my parabola. And remember, this is in factored form, so let's put that away because we're not doing that. And you won't know how to do this, and then you'll have to watch the video. And who wants to do math class twice? Yeah. Okay. I want where that parabola crosses the x-axis. So I want x minus 6 times x plus 7 to be 0. Now here's something you don't think about. X minus 6, Joey, is just a number. If x is 0, what would this number be? No, 0 minus 6 is minus 6. What if x is 0, then this would be 7. So I'd be looking at the product of negative 6 times 7. These are just numbers. Think of a number, subtract 6 from it, add 7 to it. So how would I get 0 out of these two numbers? One of them has to be what? 0. So what I'm going to do is take this one and see what would make that 0. Either that one's 0, 0 times that. I don't care what x is. We can figure out what this number is, but it doesn't matter. It's a number. Or x plus 7 equals 0. Well, now I'd like you just to be able to look at these. What number do you put in there? What minus 6 gives you 0? 6. Now, if I put 6 in here, I do get 0, which is good. And then I get 13 here, but what's 0 times 13? It's 0. Remember, there's possibly two places that I have x-intercepts. Where's the other one? The other one is solving this equation. Can you tell me by just looking at that what the x is? 7 plus 7 is 14. What number plus 7 gives you nothing? There you go. Remember, we're trying to solve for x. You could subtract 7 from both sides. You could do that. So that's what everything is kind of worked out there. So let's try some problems. Okay, so I'm looking for the y, the x-intercepts. So y is 0. So 0 equals x plus 5 times x minus 2. Now, at the University of Minnesota, if you were to find these, this is the work you would have to show. I can just look at it and tell you the answer. Some of you will also look at it that way. But it's their product property. So the professors at the university want to see you write out x plus 5 is 0. Or you may be x minus 2 is 0, probably way more sophisticated than this. My daughter in college had to do that. She had to factor x squared minus 1. No, she was in third year calculus. Okay? So, either this number, because x plus 5 is a number, is 0, or x minus 2, the other number, is 0. Well, I always do the easy one first, because I like to get as many points as I can. What's x here? What? Positive 2. A number plus its opposite is always 0. If you put 2 in there, you get 0. Put 2 in here, you get 7, because what's 0 times 7? What will make this one 0? Negative 5. So in college, they will make you write that. It's nice if you need to write it, I can just go to the answers. But they did not accept that. And that's just the way they are. Let's try the next one. Okay, so I want 0 to equal x times x plus 7. What are the two factors? I don't like the color, you can't see that. If I put the 2 in there, that's 7. Okay, what about this one? Either x is 0 or x plus 1 is 0. So the first one's easy. It's done. X is 0, right? What's the other one? What number do you add to 1 to get 0? Negative 1. It's easy. If you take either one of these two numbers and you put it back into this equation, the y value will be 0. What about this one? Oh, here I am in the same problem. So what are you going to set equal to 0? You have 0 equals 2x minus 4 times x minus 9. This is factored form. That's right, because 2x minus 4 is 0. Some of you hit this fast and will just see the answers. I'm okay with that. Or x minus 9 is 0. Now I'm going to do x minus 9 because that's easy. What's x equal to, Sayla?
X is equal to...
What's negative 9 minus 9? Is it, no, that's minus 18. So what number do you subtract 9? If this is a negative 9, that's a positive 9. Okay, Kate looked at this and said it was x was 2. If you can't see that, you show your work by adding 4 to both sides. You guys remember doing this? This is, we're always using 2x equals 4. We're always using old stuff. So x equals 2. So there's 2 x-intercepts. So we're not just learning zero product property, how to solve that equation. We're also learning what it means on a graph, on a parabola. It's where the graph crosses the x-axis. Well, who wants to come up and do some of these? Yeah, you want to come up and do it? Now this one's going to have a fraction, but don't freak out with the fractions. Leave it as a fraction. Who cares? So what's 0? Is 2 0? No, but how about the x? Jay, could x be 0? And if x is 0, do I get 0 for a product there? Yeah. So go ahead. X is 0. What's the other one? The 4x plus 7 equals 0. Work over here so you have room. 4x plus 7. Now, I can't just, I can, because I've done this many times, equals 0. Solve that. What do you do to solve that? Subtract 7. Whoa, no. That's, yes, but none of that's true. You've got to keep true sentences here. So if you want to put the bar here, that's great, and say 4x equals negative 7. Then what do? You're right. Divide by 4. And that's the answer, negative 7/4. That's it. 0 or negative 7/4. That's it. So you're going to do the next one? Okay. We only have 3. Yeah, put your iPads away.
But it's useful.
Probably not. You do? This is great if you know how to do it. Okay, how do you get 0 there? One of the two numbers is 0. Is 2 ever 0? Yeah, y is going to be 0. So first you copy the problem. You can't put equal to 0 there. So 2 times x minus 3. Got to write a little smaller. You're not going to fit it. And before you try these first problems, let me review it. Okay, Sarah, are you done yet?
Yeah.
You should be doing these. Did you label everything on the back?
Yep.
Kind of.
What?
Label your points.
Yep.
Where's your y-intercept? Okay. Oh, okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Yeah, I'll get those. Okay, equals 0. Okay, Sarah, equals 0. We don't have time. You guys want to get your homework done. We need to get this going. Equals 0.
Right equals 0.
I know, I haven't got. This to you.
You want one?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to get something done. Come here. Okay, how do you get 0? Either x minus 3 is 0 or x plus 6 is 0. You have to look at those as numbers. Well, you got to write it down. Did you get one? Oh. x minus 3, write it down.
Where?
On the board, yeah. Equals 0. Or x plus 6 equals 0. How do you get a product of 0? Either one of the numbers has to be 0. That's all. Okay, so what's x equal to? What nobody put in there?
3.
What do you put in the other one? Yes. So 3 or negative 6. Let's look at the last one.
That's it.
That's it.
You don't have like.
No, if you put in negative 6 here, what happens? I get what?
Why did 3 get 2, right?
Because that was a different problem. If I put in negative 6 here, what do I get here? I get 0. I don't care what number that is. What 0 times any number? 0. So here we're going to put 0 equals negative 3, 3x plus 5, x minus 8. The product of any numbers, if you get 0, one of them's got to be 0. Okay, Jens? Jens, what is going to give me 0 here? Negative 3 going to give me 0? Nope. What about this? 3x plus 5, is that 0? What's the other one? Okay, Nick, what are the choices here? X equals, let's do the easy one first. Take 8 away from what to get nothing? Okay, put that away. X minus 8, add 8 to both sides, what do you get? 8. This one's trickier. Does anybody know what the answer is to the other one? Yes. So you get 3x equals negative 5, and then we divide by 3. Now, I didn't show my work because I can do these in my head, but I did it very quickly, so there could be some answers that are wrong. Just warning. Okay. Let's summarize what we're going to have to know to do the first part of this worksheet, which you know there's going to be a test on communication, which is the first 11 questions. Okay, so, okay guys, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. What form is that? Sarah? What form is that? It's general.
Oh,
That's the general form. Because somebody decided if we're just going to multiply out a quadratic, an example of that, can somebody find an example of that on our list here, A through J? No, I started with this. Which one looks like a number times x squared plus a number times x plus another number? Which one looks like that? You're looking at A through J. Oh, that's why you couldn't do it. Does A look like that?
No.
B?
No.
C?
Nope.
D? How about E?
Yeah.
Because that's x squared plus 2x minus 6. There's another one there. Okay, so that's one of them. And the other one is I. That's correct. And another one. Okay. Okay, that's general form. Then we have factored form, which looks like this. X minus a number times x minus a different number, maybe. Could be the same number. This is factored. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the numbers. These are numbers, not letters. Does A look like that? No. How about B? Yes. Okay, so this would be B. That would be B. This one, the first one you run into is E. No? What? Oh, I'm sorry, factors. I'm looking at the wrong questions. Okay, good. Good for catching me there. Vertex form is the one that looks a little bit weird, and it looks like this. It's x minus h squared plus k. And when you did the quick graphing, you might have noticed something about k. K actually gave you your starting point on your vertex. Well, this gives you, this is called vertex form, and it gives you the vertex. Which one's in vertex form? Is A in vertex form? Yes. I haven't shown you how to read that yet. That we will. Okay, so general form, this one gives you the y-intercept. If you remember from like 15 minutes ago or longer, when x is 0, this gives you the y value of c. Factored form gives you the x-intercepts. That's why we want the different forms. Vertex form gives you the vertex. Now, you should have the tools to answer questions 1 through 11. Now, 5, 6, and 7 refer to A, B, and C only. 8, 9, 10, 11 refer to D, E, F, and G only. So it's a little bit confusing because you might think you get to choose from all of them, but no. Yes. Which one? 8 on the blue, on the first step, or on the back? Okay, number 8 is the question on the back of this. It doesn't matter because it's really 3 numbers multiplied together. And zero product property actually works for any number of numbers. If I have A times B times C times D equal to 0, then one of those is 0. Okay, India, put your iPad away. Either A is 0, B is 0, C is 0, or D is 0. So the first thing when I do this is 2 equal to 0. Ever? Nope. That one doesn't work. What's the next factor? What's the next number that's multiplied? Before that, I have an x. X, what if x is 0? Will that give me 0? Yeah. And what's the other one? No decimals, leave them as fractions. So if you get 5/4, leave it 5/4. It's much easier. You don't have to use a calculator. What's this number? It's going to make that 0. I don't want to show the steps because I want you to look at it and tell me what makes that true. It's easy. Yeah, that's it. Now, Kate, did that answer your questions? That answers the question on 11 and 12. The 2 and the 3 out in front, they don't do anything. Because 2 times 0 just gives you 0. But they can't be 0. Now, when you do the last 6, the factoring, you always do greatest common factor first. So some of them, like 1 and 4 and 5, there's an in-between step. This is the blue one. We're on the back side. So number 1 and the review stuff, because guess what we're going to do tomorrow? We're going to factor this and set it equal to 0. So it's important to get zero product property today. Okay. Can I factor out anything here? Is there a common factor, Jay? Yes, there is. What is it? It's 2, and I'm left with x squared plus 4x plus 3. Then we play the x game. Some of us are still not good at factoring. Okay, what goes here? No? The number in front of x, which is 4, and this is what? 3. Okay. Good. 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 plus 3 is 4. So this factors to give you 2 times x plus 1 times x plus 3. Guess what we're going to do tomorrow? We're going to find the x-intercepts. And to find the x-intercepts, you set this equal to 0. We'll do it tomorrow. Today's just reviewing the factors. Okay, so the yellow sheet should come in, and when you see these are all factored for you, so getting the answers shouldn't take you very long.
Here you go.
You might have turned it in, or I might have grabbed it. I probably grabbed it.